Last evening was, of course, the 4th of July evening, and you know what that means. At least in the United States of America, it means that the fireworks are going. And, of course, in small towns, small places, large cities, and great places, the fireworks went. And that happened where we live, this small little village in southern Arizona. However, there was a bit of a problem, and the problem was Jackson. Little Jackson, our dear little dog, our rescue dog, who has brought a great deal of love and pleasure into our life, and truly one of my walking and prayer partners. He keeps me moving, keeps me going, keeps me thinking of others. And he loves me. There's no question about it. He really loves me. And I guess I return the favor. But last night, Jackson was scared almost to death because of the fireworks. And that got me to thinking about scaring animals, and perhaps something that could be scary if we don't know how to do it well as an entrepreneur. And that's what I'd like to visit with you a little bit on this Thursday evening going into Friday. Scaring animals, and something scary you might not be able to do, and you better learn how. All the best and blessings as we hit the radio knob once again. That's right, turn your radio on, because we're on the air.
Come and listen in to a radio station where the mighty host of heaven sing. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. If you want to hear the songs of Zion coming from the land of endless spring, get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
And we are back. This is Stan Houston, the co-founder of the Christian Entrepreneur Network, TCENglobal.org. TCENglobal.org. Please check us out there. And this program is brought to you. It is the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. It's not just a radio program. It's not just a podcast. We hope that it's a going and growing connective experience. Remember, this is the Internet connected experience economy, and you need to know how to function in that particular situation. Function in the situation. And hopefully we'll always have a little bit of a tip and a tactic, perhaps even a bit of a strategy, a good idea that might help you do that from time to time. That's what we're all about. We'd love to hear from you because this program is best when you are on the air. So raise your hand and say, I'd like to be on the radio, on the air, or as we now will say, over the top. Now, do you know the difference between on the air and over the top? Uh-oh, you've got something you need to learn if you're going to do business in the 21st century. And it's so good that you are in tune to this place, because sometimes we'll tell you a little bit about that. Hey, yes, we are radioedge77@gmail.com. That's how you reach us with all of that stuff you'd like to tell me or ask me. And check out tcenglobal.org and see the entire kind of repertoire of our products and services that we are developing. We now have business fully alive, fully built, and ready to serve you. We have, in addition to our ongoing radio program, which is free, our YouTube channel, which will be free, there will be 12 different vital services that we can bring to you. Now, the talking and the speaking might be free, but if you want our services, a workman is worthy of his hire, and there will be a fee. You can make a donation to us. We are a public charity because we do support people no matter what, and we help people no matter what. But we have a variety of professional services and things that we can offer to you. But we're going to have to negotiate and find out how we can make a deal on that. Remember, life is a lot of deal making. That's what entrepreneurialism and business is all about. It's making the right deals with the right people at the right time, in the right place, at the right price. a lot of things we have to do right to make business work for us. And of course, we want to do it in such a way that we make the master entrepreneur, that's Jesus, he kind of smiles at the work we do, the contributions we make. Perhaps he's pleased with the compensation that we get because he wants his children to flourish. He wants his followers to do well. And that's what we want to do too. Well, first of all, let's talk about my dear Jackson. What obviously happens, this happens everywhere around the world, when fireworks go off, whether it's New Year's or a holiday celebration, those of us who have small animals, we have to figure out what to do. And for some reason it just struck me. We worked out a plan. We were invited to a little bit of a celebration, so dear Jackson had to stay at home, and we knew that he would be frightened. So we did everything we could to protect him. He has what is called a thunder jacket, which is actually like swaddling clothes from the Bible. You kind of wrap the little animal up so they feel nice and warm and tight. And perhaps you try and make sure that the blinding lights they won't see. And if you can put them in a place where the noise will be reduced, we did all of that. But the more I thought about it after we walked home, because for some reason it seemed that the fireworks were louder than normal. Now, it could be that just I'm more sensitive to that as I'm getting older. And as I walked back, and I said to Karen, I hope Jackson's okay. Well, thank goodness he was. And we comforted him, and he was so glad to see us. And later on, we were watching a television program that had fireworks going off, and Karen, my wife, had to turn it off because she saw that Jackson started to look around in a bit of a panic as, once again, those loud popping sounds were happening in his life. I don't know what to make of this. Of course, we shouldn't ban the fireworks, but I just happened to think about that. I wonder if there are things that I do in life that they're just for my amusement or perhaps my pleasure, but in some ways could they be scary and hurtful to other people? There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing bad with them. But it just got me to thinking about, even though I don't ever consciously want to scare or hurt anybody, I wonder if because I have a lot of intensity and I have a lot of energy and I'm a little bit of a firecracker in how I come across, I just wonder if perhaps there are things about me and my personality that are a little bit frightening or scary to people who may not be quite like me. I don't know. I hope not. But again, I have to be full of energy. I've got to be powerful. I've got to be present. I've got a business to make happen. I just can't make things up. I have to create things that work. But it got me to thinking. I hope that I'm not like the fireworks are to Jackson. I hope that my presence is not frightening or scary or overwhelming. That in effect, I'm doing the right thing. Just a thought on a night full of fireworks. I don't want to be scary. I don't want Jackson or you or anybody else to be frightened by who I am and what I do and how I come across to you. Please let me know if I do. Best and blessings. And now let's talk about something that could be scary to you if you don't know what to do. I'm going to tell you the story of my friend Bruce. About a week and a half ago, I did mention my friend Bruce, who I had a conversation with. Bruce and I go back a number of years. And it's one of those friendships, that maybe you'll go 2 or 3 years and you really won't have much contact. Then all of a sudden something brings you back and you're connected again and you get caught up. I have a friend of many years. His name is Harold, and I'm going to make sure he hears this wonderful tribute. Harold Johnson is a friend of, it's got to be more than 30 years. And we've been through a lot together and separately. We have not had easy lives, and Harold has gone through his share of difficulties. Yet, as a dear man of God, he presses on with a smile, going forward. But Harold and we can be separate for maybe a couple of years and never have talked to one another. But my wife says this, she says, when you and Harold come together, it's like it was just yesterday that you last met. You all just connect immediately, and off you go. And we agreed that, once again, Karen is smarter than Harold and I together, and she's right. That's exactly how we are. Well, Bruce is a little bit that way. But a number of years ago, when I first began my performance coaching, a gentleman who was part of an organization that I was working with and helping them get some of their focus together appreciated the work I did, and he was a fundraiser for the organization. And so what he said, Stan, I'd like to help you as you start your business. I've got lots of friends and lots of people I know. Why don't we sponsor a workshop? And we called it, on a biblical theme, Press Toward the Mark, from St. Paul. Forgetting what is behind, I press toward the mark, and it's on goal setting. By the way, it's still a great program, and I'll do it for you because there's a whole lot of things you need to know about being one of the 3%, being one of the goal setters, and the word mark that St. Paul used, powerful word. You have to make your mark. You need a trademark. You have to have a goal to go for. All of those are meanings of the word mark. But he said, let's do that. And so we arranged at one of the local Christian colleges as we rented a room and we got the thing catered. And he said, we'll send out all kinds of invitations to people that I know, and we'll invite them to come. And it'll be complimentary on me. I will take care of that. That'll be good for me and my organization to introduce you and to have value for them. And so that's what we did. And I still thank John for that opportunity. But what happened was that about a week beforehand, I got a call, and this man with an incredibly deep radio voice, Bruce, introduced himself. And he was very pleasant, and he put the situation right there. Mr. Houston, my name is Bruce Schumann, and I got an invitation to your seminar and workshop. And he said, I'm very interested. By the way, if I do come, it's a good 2.5-hour drive, obviously there, to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and obviously to return. And if it is what it says it is, obviously it's going to be 2, 3, 4 hours, plus my travel time. And I was thinking about bringing my son. And I said, oh, that's great. And then Bruce asked the classic question which almost every businessman, businesswoman, business person, whatever you want to be, needs to know and be able to answer. And I found most can't do it. Just like I can't talk right now. And here's what he said. He said, Mr. Houston, why should I take time out of my busy day and the expense necessary to come to hear your workshop? Why should I do that? What a great question. Why should I do business with you? Is what he was saying. Why should I be involved, take my money, take my time, take my energy? Obviously, you are not the only person in town who does motivational speaking and things like this. Why should I do business with you? Now, I remember that to this day, obviously. And I think I must have at least got it partly right because Bruce came. And we've been friends ever since. But let me tell you, Bruce is a very wise man. And he can help you By the way, if you need help with a number of things, Bruce can help you, and he's part of our network, and you'll hear more about what he can do, particularly in how to make the most of the second half of your life, which is what he is in, I'm in, and perhaps you are in too. After halftime, what do you do with the second half? He'll be able to help you with that and many other things. And you'll hear from him, and you'll just hear how good he is. As I oftentimes say, don't describe what you do, demonstrate how good you are, and he can do that. But that's the question I leave with you, my friends, entrepreneur. If Bruce was going to do business with you, and very kindly and very courteously, he got your offer, he heard about you, finds out a little bit more about you, and then he very kindly says, "Why should I do business with you?" By the way, every client or customer or prospect you meet is asking you that question. Whether you know it or not, whether they are asking it or not. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is you kind of go into the weekend. Why don't you give some thought to that great question? Bruce got it right. Why should I take time, money, energy to do business with you? What would you tell him? I'd be curious to know. Why don't you call in and let me know? And if you need help with that, you know what? Bruce and I, we can help you answer that question so that you can truly do it right. Hey, this is the workshop. This is the radio station. This is the 20 minutes that will help you do things right. We are Do It Right Radio. In some ways, we're real radio. We are Right Now Radio. And it is the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. And we'll be right back. It is Thursday evening, flowing into Friday, and I literally have not decided whether I will do a Friday or weekend program. I've done a lot of work this week, and because I have the freedom as an entrepreneur, and because this is personal on-demand radio, I don't have to be there. We'll decide on Friday, do I have something that is worthwhile to say that might be helpful and useful to all of us for the weekend? And you know what? If I don't, I will just be quiet. Because the last thing we need is more noise from people who know nothing and have nothing worth saying. As my friend Bruce would say, why should we hear from you? Why should we listen to you? Do you have something worth saying and something worth hearing? RadioEdge77@gmail.com, RadioEdge77@gmail.com. I would love to be in conversation with you because people like Bruce and I, we can help you with your Christian entrepreneur business. We can help you with your life. Please be in touch. Please come back. We'll be back soon, somewhere, sometime. This is the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience, and we wish you all the best and blessings. As Tiny Tim used to say, still does. God bless us all, everyone. Bye for now.